So, let's start the third session of our short shot. As the party in the day before has been traveling and following this caravan of soldiers transporting some um, prisoners, to your knowledge, that were being carried off to somewhere else, you managed to intercept them as they had made camp in an abandoned ruin. And upon approaching them, you decided to fight with them after a short conversation. Amongst these soldiers, well, most of them were just regular foot soldiers, was a knight who seemed to have been the leader of this caravan. But eventually, as the fight went on, another new type of soldier appeared before you, one that was covered head to toe in heavy metal suit, not much like an armor, but rather like a like a suit rather than a suit of armor itself. And this suit was capable of shooting out spells in some way. After killing and interrogating some of the soldiers, you investigated some of this suit and came to find that it was powered by both a backpack that you could fill with coal and a small little cylinder. It's made of copper and it has many engravings that seem to dictate for containment. You decided not to prod at this little item too much, but you kept one that seems to be active. And then you went over to another cart that seemed to be containing more suits, though these ones were much more damaged and out of commission. These suits also had these little cylinders with engravings, though these others seemed to be inert. Finally, as I believe Kaldor was searching through one of the nights, he found a little copper box with a dial on it. And the prisoners that you decided to, well, after some discussion, decided to set free and pose. Half of you pose as the prisoners that are being sent to this other location, while the others disguise themselves as Redanian soldiers. Finally, the last person that you interrogated before brutally murdering, you finally got some information as to where it is that you're headed. It seems to be a place called Trask 2. Not so far south, but definitely at least a couple days worth of travel into the mountains. As everybody goes to sleep after this long day of travel and battle, once again, night takes over, and memories of the past come to flood into the minds of one particular person tonight. In this case, Elric remembers a night many months ago, at which you might have been walking out in the fields. One of these many missions that you were sent out. You remember being ahead of the group, in which some other legionnaires that you've known, but you haven't really worked with all that much. You bounced around from group to group as you were needed and asked for. And you remember the feeling of them walking many yards behind you, them speaking in whispers, but you were still able to hear some of the words that they were whispering to each other. Names that they would throw around when referring to you, like abomination, monster, most notably a creep. Creep is a word that legionnaires use very often to refer to all of you. It used to be somewhat the term that was given by regular soldiers towards the High-Cursed. These words don't really affect Elric. Elric has a way of focusing on the mission at hand. During this particular mission, you remember heading to a town that was quiet. Reports of people missing, and there had been going on for a while. An entirely different squad of legionnaires had been sent there, but they never came back. And so, you and your little troop were sent in. You remember that as you approached the town, The Legionnaires simply stopped and started setting up camp, and the captain of this team said, "You go on ahead, give it a scout. We'll follow you after you've dealt with the hard stuff. What choice do you have?" But you know that even with them together, you would probably do a lot more if you were just alone, without them holding you back. You remember going through the town, see that all this had been abandoned, or at least have been desolate for a couple of weeks now. And walking through the houses, it seemed like life just stopped on its tracks. Eventually, as you were walking down the streets, you managed to smell delicious stew being brewed somewhere in town. And you follow the smell all the way over to the inn of the town, where in the basement you found this bizarre creature that had been killing and then butchering and cooking the residents of this town. Amongst the people that it had been eating and killing were the past legionnaires sent here. The reinforcements were sent too late, and about other 5 legionnaires were killed during this mission. You managed to easily dispose of this creature. But the thing that you recall the most about this is being scolded. You managed to kill the beast, but in the eyes of the legionnaires, you failed your mission. There were no survivors. The captain of this squad reprimanded you for not being able to do your job properly. But hardly ever do you get praise for what you do. Captain then mentions that, "Oh, you don't have time to rest. You're needed elsewhere." And off you went to your next assignment. As this dream fades away, the sun begins to rise. The party finds themselves once again in the marshes of the Aguilan March, still between these ruins of old fortresses and the dead that you've killed just the day before. What do you guys want to do? Just in case.
I did. I actually closed the fucking browser.
So okay, quick refresher. Did we agree on the prisoners? What we're doing with that? Did we solidify that?
We're still arguing about that. I am going to walk over to the prisoners and see how they're doing.
All right. As you approach the prisoners, they do seem to be all right, but they are still fairly hurt, kind of weak, malnourished. One of them has a pretty nasty gash on his legs.
Where is Lane at this point in time?
Lane would have probably woken up a little bit earlier than all of you. He'll come back after getting some berries or any type of grub that he might be able to find anywhere around. He catches you already ogling at the prisoners. Says, "Are we going to keep talking about this?"
We are. We cannot afford to have 2 capable fighters locked up behind a cage when we don't know what we're walking into.
An interesting definition of capable. They can hardly walk.
Well, I was referring to you and the big guy. These 2 will be the ones staying in the cage. They're of no use to the military or the army anymore. Might as well get some use out of them while they're still alive. They'll never make it back to the capital.
Perhaps they don't have to. Perhaps they can ditch the uniforms and wait for extraction at some other point. Taking them further into enemy territory is just another death sentence for them.
They're just basic soldiers, cannon fodder to us. So, I mean, we need the bodies. And they're expecting these prisoners.
I assume I would be like nearby.
So Fritz is peeking through a tent as he's getting his shirt on and getting his jacket, but he's not said anything yet. He's still
I would like to join in on this conversation. I kind of walk up, saunter over. You know, I was thinking about this actually. We could, since you guys are, you know, very morally, pure, I guess. We could just hunt down some, you know, Redanians, cut out their tongues, and then use them if you wanted to.
There's probably no soldiers for a couple miles.
Well, then civilian, huh?
Fritz will come out of the tent. Even if we cut their tongues out, it's not like they're going to be cooperative with us.
Well, neither would prisoners for the Redanian, you know, so, I mean, it's pretty... I mean, you know... Yeah, I think it would be a good... I don't know. Either way, I'm not too privy on the idea of having Lane and the big guy posed as prisoners. I feel like we would get separated. But how about we take the prisoners for now? And then, you know, we still have probably, you know, the week of travel, something to whatever. And on the way, if we find, you know, anything else that we can use, let's use that. You know? Good
Fritz
idea?
just has a glum look. He'll walk over to...
Go ahead.
You go.
No, go ahead, sorry.
He'll walk over to the guys. It's like, can you fellas even walk right now?
One of them is more severely covered in burns than anything. The other one seems to have been clobbered and stabbed, mostly in the lower body, it seems. The one with the burns, he's perfectly capable of walking, at least at a slow pace. The other one seems like he's going to need medical attention or a crutch of some sort to be able to walk.
I kind of scratch my head again. You know, to sweeten the deal for, you know, the softer members here, I'll look after the soldiers for the next 2 days and heal them as much as I can. But I would like to find some substitute for prisoners. If I'm forced to be making, you know, compromises.
All I want to say is civilians are off the table. They have no part in this war. It's either soldiers or nothing.
You know that limits it severely, you know that, right?
That is not my problem. We have 2 bodies right here that we can use as prisoners. And we can either find 2 Redanian soldiers, or we will drop these guys off wherever we're going to the Redanians, like they're expecting them to.
I look towards Lane and just, see what he says.
We take them with us for 2 days. Hopefully they'll get better by then. If they don't get better, we use them.
I kind of nod my head and I point to Fritz. You okay with that? That good with you then?
I mean, it's captain's orders. I can't really disagree. We might need them in the 2 days. They can at least somewhat fight. But if we take them in, I don't think they're coming out.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go check how much we have for like rations in the, you know, carriage. So, you know, anything else you guys need to do, whatever. I'm just gonna walk out.
Right?
Did we get the name of that the leading army soldier that was here in the red armor?
You did not get his name, no.
I go like search his body to see if he has anything on him that would tell me his name.
Sure. I mean, you rummage through. He doesn't really have any personal effects on him, so it's kind of hard to say. There are some other letters around in the what used to be their camp. They mention a lot of names, though. It's kind of hard to tell exactly who it was. What name belongs to who.
Fortunate, alright.
I feel like at best he'd have something that like shows his rank, but
I mean, I'll let you make an investigation check to see if you figure something like that out.
I'd like to try that.
Okay, well. Very well. His it seems like the highest ranking person in this caravan was a person called Sage. I'll write it down. Or Siggy, however you want to pronounce that.
Okay. Well, outside of that, I'm just gonna go ahead and don the Redanian armor that we got from the guys in the caravans or whatever.
Okay, fair enough. You start gearing up with that.
I'll do the same.
Kaldor's gonna be messing with this tool, but
Okay. How do you mess with it?
I will first like shake it around, and then try to like see if it points anywhere and go towards it.
Okay. You shake it, and it does seem to be, I don't want to say fragile, but something kind of rattles inside, so you kind of get the impression you're not supposed to shake it that much. You kind of point it in several directions around you, and the needle, it stays down as if it's not really pointing north or anything. It's just down at the moment.
Down. Okay. I'll go to Lane and be like, "What is this?"
And he looks down at it. He says, "Don't know where to find it."
Off one of the bodies.
He looks at it. Says, "Never seen anything like it. But if they were carrying it, it might have something to do with the machine, I suppose. Something like that."
Those weak suits. I guess I'll go to one of those suits. The one that
you
seems
killed?
the least damage.
Oh, okay, on the caravan?
Yeah.
Interesting. So you pointed towards the suits?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You start kind of approaching the tool close to one of the suits. And as you pass, as you wave it kind of close to one of the suits, you see the needle very, very barely just goes bloop, rises just a little bit.
Am I in the carriage just while Kaldor's doing the stuff with the suits?
Sure.
Okay. I don't have anything to say. I was just wondering.
I'm gonna go closer to get a reaction from that noodle.
Okay. You put it closer, almost basically touching it. Needle again rises just a little bit. I'll say that the needle is pointing on an arc, like a half circle, that is segmented into 3 different sections. The needle never goes past the first section. It's on the first third, barely goes a little bit up into the first third.
Then I'm gonna look at Mavros. Little man, come here.
Oh. I kind of stop what I'm doing and I kind of saunter over. What is it, big guy?
Get inside.
Or what do the what?
Put on the weak suit.
I mean, it doesn't even have a battery in it.
Then I'm gonna show him the tool in my hand, and every time I point, or then move it back and forth, to show him the reaction.
Kind of just look at it a little bit, and I remember I take out the little container from my back pocket, And I like kind of like start tapping it to the thing that Kaldor has.
As soon as the cylinder contacts with the box, the needle goes straight to the max.
Oh, so it's like a,
What
you
is
know,
this?
I guess it's like a compass for these batteries or whatever you want to call them, these containers. I will call them.
A compass? A battery? What do you mean?
You know what I know what a compass is? I would know what a compass is, right?
A
Everybody would
compass,
know.
yes.
Yes,
Battery,
yes, yes.
probably
Yeah,
not.
that's not a good word. That's not a good word. Uh, no, like compass, right? A container. I don't know. This is what the Fritz and Elric were talking about. I don't container of something.
Get
Container.
inside.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna kind of look around. Is Fritz and Elric nearby at all?
No,
I think we're
they.
still putting on our armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna
I
see
kind
if
of
I
want
can.
to RP with Elric at some point here while we're putting armor on. But,
Yeah.
just continue this.
Pause. We can pause this one. I'm just gonna check it out and see if I can even fit in this first.
Only because what is happening here is probably going to interrupt what's happening elsewhere. Let's cut away for a second. Back at the inside the ruins where Fritz and Elric are putting on their suits. What's going on?
I said I wanted to RP, but hold on. I actually got to think about what my character's going to say now. I was hoping not to immediately cut away. I was still trying to think up.
Can I do my rolls of inspection first then?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good,
No,
you're
you're
good.
perfectly good. I want to look at this suit and I want to check to see like if there's any needles pointing towards where I would get in, or if there's anything that looks like that's going to be injected into me, anything that looks like it'll mess with me physically when I put this suit on.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Damn.
It is sufficiently obvious that there's not like a knife or a needle that's going to inject you if you get into it. It does
wanna
seem to
do
be
the
a
same.
fairly standard suit. Go ahead.
Investigation. But I won't say anything about it. I'll just put it in my head.
Still, it seems like it kind of seems to be designed around for it to be comfortable and wearable. It doesn't seem to be something that's designed to hurt its user. It does seem to be a suit went through. It's like cushion and everything a little bit. But Kaldor, you do notice that more or less around where you would put your hands in, like where the gauntlet area from inside, does seem to be kind of an intricate contraption that makes it so that you can't just slide your hands in without a certain set of don't want to say a combination, but you can't just slide your hands in. You need to do something before entering.
Well, I mean, it doesn't look. Oh yeah. I mean, I kind of wanted to, anyways. I kind of just like take off my loot and take off, like kind of my overclothes. I kind of like try to shimmy into here.
I pick him up like a child and put him in it.
Oh yeah, I'll kind of like look at him weird, but honestly, this makes it easier. So
Okay. He starts to slide you in. It's a little bit difficult to fit you in because, like I said, these are fairly damaged suits. You probably picked the one that's the least mangled, but still, like you notice that there's like some dents around the armature of the arm. So, like putting your arm in fully is a little bit difficult. The legs as well, and then as soon as you get in, it doesn't seem to do anything. It's heavy, and it's so heavy you can't really move while you're in it.
I point the tool closer to it.
Where exactly? Like it. So far, it seems like it requires full contact with whatever you're measuring. So, what do you touch it to?
Is there like something like that looks like a shape that I can put it into? Seems like it fits.
I'll put up the.
I'm gonna look at Mavros and boy,
what?
find something to fit this in.
I can't really do. I'm kind of locked in here right now. Like
Use your mouth, boy.
what the fuck are you talking about?
You do look around. It doesn't really seem to be a slot to slide this in.
Hmm.
No, I can't really feel anything on the inside. I can't really get my hands fully in here, if I'm gonna be honest.
Can we do now that he's closer in there? Can he do an investigation? See better inside?
I'll just say that there's really nothing much to do here. Like the suit seems to be both locked and without power.
I'm just gonna kind of get bored. I'm like, well, Kaldor, I don't think this thing even works. I wanna start getting out of it.
As
Start
you
walking over.
start like stepping out of the suit for a little bit, your back, as you are stepping out, bumps into the box as Kaldor is holding it. Kaldor, you notice that the needle goes about halfway, a little bit further than halfway.
I go back to that back of the back box,
Okay.
and I start banging on it, maybe trying to lift the lid up, open it.
Very little reading.
And I would just try to, like, touch the tool to the metal part of it and just kind of like slide it around until I get like a reaction again.
Sliding it around most of the metal and most of the suit, you get just that, a very, very small reaction on the needle.
Man, barbarian, I don't think much. So
All right. Well, I'm out of the suit, so I'm just gonna kind of look at him, and then I'm gonna sigh a little bit, and then go back to going over the rations and supplies that we have.
Okay, fair enough. I guess if there's anything else, we'll come back to it in a second. But now, hopefully you're ready, Fritz and Elric. You're putting on your suits.
So I know you may not think these people are worth much, but as I'm like putting on a boot. But they oh god, I still don't know what to say. I was gonna go with the god angle here. The Elric, do you believe in the gods? The three specifically?
I believe there is a higher power, yes. I don't know if the three gods were ever real or if there's any proof of them, but I do believe there is something above that controls everything that's going on.
Well, okay. Well, I believe these people, they're worth more than what they're just standing here. I think, I'm still at a loss. You know what? I know there's no way to convince Elric, but I'm not trying to here. Fritz would still try.
Fritz, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Do you think it's not odd that the Lord Regent would send 4 of his magical soldiers to go find out what's killing his army with a commander that has no ability at all to keep us in line?
I'll admit this is strange, but I have a feeling they've been trying to kill me for a while. And I bet it's the same with you.
Yes, but what's stopping us from just killing Lane and leaving the army?
Well, I've got a few things.
And I do as well. We're still valuable to them, even if we are, well, some of us, for a better lack of words, unintelligent or just a wall of meat. We're soldiers at the end of the day, and we are going to get our job done and prove to them that we are still of use to them, because good soldiers follow orders.
I think good soldiers are ones that save people.
Well,
Look, I know we may have duties to the king or the whoever runs this place, but I think the thing I want to do most is make sure everybody's all right at the end of the day. These people may be part of an army that hates us, but They're still people at the end of the day.
As Elric finishes putting on the armor, he's gonna walk to the exit of the building, turn back to Fritz, and look at him and just let him know that you can't save everybody, and sometimes you have to sacrifice others to stay ahead in this world. And walk out to find Kaldor and Mavros.
Finish putting on my gear and I'll go as well.
Right. Well, you guys exit out just about the same time that Mavros is exiting out of the suit and finishing up whatever they were trying to do.
What are you two idiots doing? I thought I told you not to mess with the armor.
I'm gonna be donning back on all my cape and, loot, everything. Big guy found a compass for the machines or something. I don't know. It when you touch the containers, I'm gonna pull it out of my pocket again and show it, kind of Elric and Fritz if he's there. It kind of jumps up, or I don't know. Take a look at it. I kind of go back to the carriage.
It doesn't matter what it is. You two shouldn't be messing around with something you don't know.
I'd have to agree with Elric on this one. I don't think whatever this thing is.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't harm me going in, so
I'm still banging around in it.
big guy seems to have taken a liking to it, though. So,
He doesn't even like magic. For all we know, he could fucking kill us all with that thing.
Did I do something?
that is true.
I'll be honest, he don't even need that thing to kill all of us, probably.
That is also
I'm
true.
gonna use this and then see if anything's happening on it while I'm digging around.
Okay, Okay, you start feeling around for magic. I think we mentioned this before, but yeah, the closest source of concentrated magic that you find anywhere close, at least the one that's more notable, is within the cylinder that is active.
In
Hmm?
that Mavros has?
I think Elric has it currently.
Yes.
Elric has it.
Yeah, Elric has an active one. I have like a dead one, I would assume. One out
Yes.
of the old suits.
Exactly. But again, the needle doesn't seem to be pointing towards it. The needle only seems to react when it gets close to something.
Okay. Can I point it at the cylinder that Elric has?
Yeah, you point it, and as you point it, the needle kind of rises a little bit. But as you get closer to it, the needle goes almost all the way to the other side. It maxes out.
What does that mean?
None of our concern at this point. We need to get the soldiers in the cage.
Give me that.
Absolutely not, big guy. We don't know what that's gonna do. I'm not giving you whatever is causing that to do that.
Give me that.
Again, that's not going to happen.
I'm gonna kind of peek my head over. Big guy, we're going to the big factory of the machines. So if you're, that interested, I'm sure we're gonna see a lot pretty soon.
We make one of these work, and we put the weak ones in. We have another one.
We still don't know what it does. And I don't even know if there's even any coal left. I don't know. I don't think it's
Did
gonna
I
work.
find any coal on the carriage?
There should be some clumps of it, but it's very, very, very little.
I'm just gonna shoot out that we have like 2 clumps.
Even if we got magic, we don't have regular fuel. And also, I'm gonna speculate that thing's gonna blow up at some point.
These, the only good one, you sliced in half, Kaldor. So, what's stopping somebody else from slicing these in half as well?
I get angry to start banging on the thing.
On
just
the
gotta...
on the box or on who?
On the suit.
Okay. Yeah.
I break another one. I'm gonna go for that.
Easy enough. All these were already kind of brittle anyway. You start breaking through, turning into scrap.
Is Lane nearby?
Lane will take another couple of seconds to walk out, but you'll see that he walks off with most of his pack already made. And he's currently helping the injured, or the most injured soldier, walk over. See, about.
Did I find anything like medical supplies from in the carriage?
No, wasn't there.
Okay.
Lane will say, "Are we ready to go?"
More ready than we're going to be.
Enough.
Fritz will just nod.
All right.
Just shout from the carriage saying that we're good to go.
So what do you do with the prisoners then?
Put them in the back with the broken down machines.
No manacles, no nothing. Just have them sit in the back.
Yep.
I'm going to sit in the back and try to tend to their wounds with medicine for the ride right now.
Go ahead and make a medicine check.
I'll start doing. Oh, it's fucking worthless. But I'll start doing that when we start moving.
All right, fair enough. You start riding off in this little carriage drawn by two horses. Inside this enclosed carriage are the suits, the two prisoners, and Mavros at the moment. Everyone else is either walking or on top of the stagecoach, basically. You all start heading south. So, as the journey begins and you start heading over, what route would you like to take, and who would like to lead it?
I'll take it first since I have some knowledge of where I'm going since I sent my Raven out towards the mountain to, get a lay of the land.
Sure, yeah, I'll give you advantage. Still begs the question though: are you going straight through the wilderness, or do you want to cut around?
We are going to cut around a bit, just
From
to see if
where?
there's like, fuck.
What route are we taking? Like, I
Yeah,
see
are we
where
going
we're at.
on? Are we going on a trail like through towns?
Yeah, I would like to find a trail that leads to a town so we can go grab some more supplies before.
I would opt for that if we were talking about that. I would have opted. Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. Will
I would just.
I was gonna say, I guess we can RP this before we get on the wagon or at the wagon. I'd say we don't go on the road if at all possible.
Well, I mean, I feel like we kind of need supplies. I'm gonna take a look at the rations that we have in the carriage. How many do we have, Soviet? If I guesstimated, how long could this carriage sustain us?
the carriage itself doesn't have all that many more rations. It might give you an extra 2 per person than what you already have in your inventory.
Mm-hmm.
So another 2 days of travel, in addition of what you already have.
We should at least get some food somewhere. I feel like that might be important.
Hunt for your food. We just go straight to it.
That is also a possibility.
Squirrels and frogs aren't bad if you cook them right.
That is true. Frogs are good. I would rather have some food, though.
If I may object, we're not really supposed to be hiding from anybody. We are supposed to be imitating the guards, taking these prisoners and whatever the fuck those suits of armor are back to where they belong.
It is true. There could be some checkpoints that we're supposed to go through.
We are missing quite a few people at this point.
I already have a good excuse for that. So don't worry, country boy. I'm sure it'll all be fine.
Sure.
I scowl more. Waste of time.
We have all the time in the world, big guy. We're in no rush. We were sent out to find out and eliminate the source of these magical beasts wiping out our army, and we found the culprit. So
Fritz looks pensive whenever you say all the time in the world, but says nothing.
We do have to kill that Orwin guy, and the schematics, whatever, you know. But I say that we at least visit one town. That's what I opt for. I don't know if Fritz's whole, I guess straight through the wilderness is what you're thinking. Hmm?
I mean, it's probably not great. The swamps probably we're not gonna get very far and very fast, but it'd be safer than on the roads. The roads would be quicker and we'd have more supplies, but we have to talk our way through things. I mean, really, it's down to them two options. That's how I see it.
I kind of nod my head, and then I look towards Elric manning the wagon.
it's up to y'all at the end of the day. You can take a vote. We're all equals here.
I'm gonna kind of scratch my head. Well, I guess if we're voting again, I don't care which way. Honestly, it doesn't really affect me all too much, but you know, normally I talk my way out of things, but this is kind of how I operate, so towns wouldn't be a problem for me.
I'm also for going through towns and picking up some extra supplies. We have to keep these prisoners alive.
That is kind of the choice that you guys wanted.
I mean, if we could talk our way through things, I guess I'd vote the road as well.
Well, that's majority. Doesn't really matter what the other two think. So
I
we're
spit
going
in your
to
direction.
Wait, what did he say?
spit in my direction. Okay.
I'm gonna pat Kaldor a little bit.
Let's go. I don't care. Let's just go.
I'm gonna look for a road and go towards the nearest town.
All right, fair enough. You start heading out. Make a survival check with advantage then. Wow, very polarizing.
That is crazy.
Fair enough. You, with pretty good ease, as the morning sun guides you, you begin making your way first set of kilometers, and then, also well, you manage to make a quick advance to the nearest town, little town called Kefford, where it certainly seems a lot less lively than the last town you were just in, Redwood. The people here are, I don't want to say like down or demoralized, but they're a lot more calm. And there's a lot fewer of them, too. You kind of notice that there's a little bit of a somber feeling in the air as you walk through these people. Many of them not even really looking you in the eye as you pass through. Do you want to stop here for supplies then, or?
How big would you say like the town's like general store essentially is looking?
It seems to be a fairly small town, and with a small town comes generally a small store.
Can I stop and ask one of the people of the town if there's any larger towns in the area?
They'll think for a bit and they say, biggest town is Oliver Sport, towards the bay. A few days walk though.
How?
I'm gonna poke my head out and look if I see any Red Army men soldiers.
Well, definitely no Red Army men here, no.
Okay.
You might notice a couple of soldiers, of Redanian soldiers. Okay, so, right. Red Army soldiers, you mean Redanians, right?
Yes.
Redanian soldiers,
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Redanian.
This is a reclaimed place from the Redanians currently because they've been pushing north, yeah?
Yes.
So
So
it's probably not uncommon for us to ask questions because we wouldn't really know the place.
Yeah.
sure.
Nor would they have a lot of food.
You do see a couple of soldiers, though they don't seem to be in active duty, if that makes sense. So a lot of them seem to be either injured or returning home. They seem to be broken off from the army.
I'm gonna like poke my head back into the, carriage and kind of speak at a whisper among the party members. They have injured soldiers here. You know, uh, could replace the injured soldiers that we have, if you guys wished.
Again, I don't think they'd come quietly unless you
Well,
want to be
no.
taking corpses.
Well, no, but just I'm sure after a few cuts, they wouldn't speak, nor would they be able to run.
Listen,
Uh,
Mavros, I didn't. Your idea was good in the beginning, but I have to say it's not going to work. I would imagine that the Redanians have a different build and facial structure from what our soldiers look like, correct?
In the same way that you might see that a Russian guy looks Russian compared to, I don't know, British guy. Yeah.
I'm going to assume that they would be able to tell that these are one of their soldiers or one of their people.
I'm just gonna kind of shrug, then just go back to doing what I was doing.
Well, I'm going to turn to Fritz because I see him as one of the smarter people of the group.
Dangerously, probably.
We can either go to Oliversport, which is the closest largest city, and resupply there and then head up the mountain, or we stop here, take whatever they have from these people, and head up the mountain.
Let me see the map again.
And I'll show them the map.
What it's looking like, and I'll actually draw to. Wait, actually, do we have drawing abilities?
You should.
Did
I turn that off because
yeah,
people
too many
eat-
penises, I think.
yeah,
I'll
too
take
many
a snippet
penises.
tool. This red line will be where I draw my finger across. I'll post in the general chat. Likely, I'm thinking you get up the mountain that way. Probably some sort of path.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask this question too. Is that how it's supposed to go, or do you just straight shot it from where we are?
In the map, there isn't like a road marked. So, from your point of view, it will be your guess.
I mean, look, I'm not exactly a mountain person or nothing, but I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Oliver's Port might be our next best bet.
Well, then I guess we'll head on through and head to Oliversport.
As for extortion, I mean, we need food. I don't know. However, we need to get it.
I'm gonna. Do we have any money on us, by the way?
I believe I didn't actually give you guys any money, but yes, you would have been given a little bit of money, about 15 gold pieces each.
Quick question: Do the people in the north and the people in the south use different currencies?
They're both of them are gold pieces, silver and copper, though they
Smart
are
world
marked
designer.
differently.
Okay. You said we have 15.
You have 15 gold pieces.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll amend that. About getting money, or hold on. About getting food. I mean, we could just buy it.
I mean, if you want to spend your money here, we could.
I'm not particularly opposed. Beats extorting people.
Well, I'll pitch in with whatever We need to.
I guess I'll go to a place that I think would sell that. General store or some other equivalent.
Oh wait. Is Fritz getting out to go to the general store here?
I think we're already at Kefford.
Yes, you're at Kefford, yes. And yes, that's what's going on, yes.
Oh, I'm gonna kind of jump out when Fritz jumps out, and I'm gonna ask if I can accompany him. You mind if I tag along?
He'll just shrug. Why not? Sure.
I kind of go with Toe.
Fritz, before you go, I'm gonna toss him like 5 gold to like help him pay for whatever we need while he's here.
All right. I snatch it.
Okay. You both start walking off and heading towards the general store. You come across that there seems to be kind of like rather than just one store, there seems to be this open marketplace where most of the goods, particularly food, will be sold here. And the place is looking desolate. It's looking like not only are there few vendors and few buyers, but the few stalls that are active have very little things to offer. You'll notice one lady that seems to be carrying a crate full of food and other supplies walks past you and kind of looks at you with a ha-ha kind of smirk. Like, I got the last of it and you didn't.
Give a sideways glance, but nothing more. I try to kind of, as I'm walking, I have the armor on. I'll try to look more, I guess, imperious, walking about.
Right.
Like I have a purpose.
You continue walking through, eventually reaching a stall, one of the few stalls that actually has items in it. The store owner kind of sighs as he sees you and he says, Gentlemen, apologies, my stock is fairly depleted. I can give you some, but please, we need to ration this, not just for you brave soldiers, but for our people too.
Fritz will take a deep breath. God, am I actually going to try a Russian accent? He would try to actually talk like a Redanian would. We ought to I don't know if I can. Okay, hold on. We ought to require. I'm too embarrassed to do this, I think. He'll try to do an accent. I won't talk as with Fritz.
You're doing it pretty well.
Yeah, you were going great, but
we are requiring of rations currently. We have special mission. We are making travel back to Redane currently.
Make a persuasion check.
Cool.
He says, all right. I have a couple of crates worth of food still, hoping to bring them to my wife and her family, but if this is for the good of our majesty, I understand. He pulls it out and he puts a couple of crates that seem to be for about 5 rations each for one day.
How many rations are we getting here?
It would be 5 rations. Yeah, so there's 5 individual rations. Each of them lasts one person one day.
Okay.
So do we add one each for us?
If he actually purchases it, yeah.
And you said there was 2 boxes here?
There are 2 boxes, yeah.
Yes, we will take both of them. How much?
He kind of tugs at the neck of his shirt, being like, "Damn, all right." Says, "Oh, okay, 5 gold pieces."
You seem an honest man. I'll pay 8.
Oh, thank you. Your Majesty will surely smile upon you.
Do they worship the 3 here?
They do, but it seems like the fervor seems to be more inclined towards the living queen than the religious aspect of it.
Wait, she's still alive?
Yes.
Oh, not the other way, right?
No, in this time, not on this timeline, but 7 years prior to your campaign, she was definitely still alive.
Oh, okay.
Blessings of the three upon you.
Likewise.
Grab one of the crates and I'll,
I'll grab the other one.
Yeah.
Help out Fritz. I'll nod to the man. I'll just follow Fritz.
Make my way back with the 2 crates.
Okay. Fritz, as you walk around with this fairly heavy box full of rations and whatnot, your vision starts to blur a little bit. Almost as if you stood up a little bit too fast, your vision starts to tunnel for a little bit. You feel your legs start to go a little bit shaky and weak. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
You stumble a little bit, but you manage to catch yourself before you fully collapse. The crate kind of slips out of your hand, but you manage to catch it back. Very notoriously, Mavros, you notice that Fritz takes this little stumble.
You doing okay up there?
He almost seems like he's out of breath. You notice that he's kind of sweating too.
I will go and pick it up for him.
Actually, are we at the carriage yet?
Let's say that you were within vision range of it, but only Kaldor is running to help you as you start to stumble.
Yeah, I'll be okay. I just need to get back to the carriage.
I
That's
wrestle it out.
all good. I just watched Kaldor take the stuff out of Fritz's hand. Yeah, no, just go rest up, man. Make sure you get your sleep, yeah? What I do?
It ain't that.
It ain't sleep. Do you need a? I mean, I can help you in the garage. It's kind of my specialty.
Sure, why not?
Okay. I kind of just awkwardly follow him and then saunter into the carriage when he goes in there, and then I'm gonna go check him out, medicine check, and then try to heal him and see how that goes.
So you're putting your hands in check. Hold on. Just help me get this off.
Well, yeah. Well,
Point. He's like referring to the chainmail chest piece he's got on.
like,
Help me get this.
I kind of help him when we're in the carriage. I kind of help him get all of his stuff out and everything.
So I'll keep the pants on though. But I
Actually, before this happens, I know Manpai wanted to talk to Lane before we even arrived.
Yeah,
so
we'll do that in
you
one
wanna-
sec if you guys want to finish up with those
You mean
conversations.
Elric?
Okay.
Elric.
Yeah.
You mean
Uh,
Elric?
Oh, my bad. My fault.
the scene will probably be over in a second.
My fault. Okay.
So I take off the padded armor underneath as well. I'll just have like a short sleeve shirt or some kind. You'll see he goes into his like trench coat. He'll grab a it looks like a leather strip, and it looks like a syringe of some kind. He'll use the leather strip to like tie his arm near the top of the bicep.
Does this look like he's about to shoot up drugs to me? Does this look like he's about to use rose milk?
Make a medicine check right now then. It definitely looks like a drug. You know that the color of rose milk, what it looks like. You know it doesn't look like rose milk, but the method of introducing it into your body is the same.
I'm gonna kind of fumble around and kind of like keep his hand from like doing that yet. Then I would be like, what, is this like medicine for you? Like you need this? This isn't like
You'll see his eyes are all bloodshot. He's looking worse by the second.
I'm like, oh, okay. I just kind of like let him do what he does, and I guess I start helping him. Kind of.
He takes with his index finger and middle finger and finds a vein. He takes the needle and he puts it in. You see he sits there for about a second. You see he kind of clutches his chest. And he begins to breathe again. Stop. He seems like he's not sweating as much. I think I'll be okay.
Well, I'm just gonna kind of motion if I can like feel his chest and like check out like his heart. Is it okay if I
like this,
check
so
it
I can
out?
use it. Oh, it doesn't consume it.
That's
Oh.
fine if I. I'm gonna kind of reach a hand out and try to like feel his pulse and just check him out, I guess. Can I slap him back? What the fuck?
I have no pulse. I'm dead.
Yeah, you're not able to really tell. You don't really know where to put your hand on the chest. It honestly is more uncomfortable than anything for
You
both
can't
of you.
even feel your own pulse.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, okay. And then I just start helping him get dressed again.
It's a side effect of what OOC, who's the guy that did all
Marin.
the stuff? Yes, side effect of what Marin did.
Oh, I guess
My-
that makes sense.
Something about the things attached to my heart that bring the blood everywhere that don't work anymore.
Oh,
Mostly. That's why I've been worried about time. Because I don't have much.
I guess that kind of makes sense, huh? You need this every, like, what, 3-4 days? Week?
Yeah. You know, this is like a reveal moment, but like you guys, we probably would have seen it on the boat because we were sailing for like a week, but whatever. Yeah, I need it every so often.
Oh, so... How much do you have?
He gets kind of a worried look. I've got 3 currently.
Well, let's start worrying when we get down to 1.
Yeah, I'd say.
Kind of give him a bit weirder look as I kind of like kind of go back to looking at the soldiers again and doing other stuff. Just kind of thinking to myself.
Put my armor on. I'll help get the crates in and whatnot.
Okay. So, with that, everybody can add 2 more rations to both of you. Well, to everyone. But in the meantime, Elric, as you and Lane seems to be outside of the cart, kind of looking over the map, trying to decide where to go from here. What do you want to do?
Before I walk over to him, can I like try to look through my bird's eyes and see where he's at right now?
Okay. It takes you a little bit of a second to connect back to your familiar, but after you're able to secure that connection again, the Raven seems to be flying, yes, close to the mountain range. It seems to be circling around, looking for whatever you sent it out to be looking for this place, but it has not been successful yet. The mountains are, specifically the Redanian mountain, the Redanian mountain range is extremely high altitude, very cold, very cloudy, very snowy. So even for a Raven, it's hard to navigate on it sometimes. You know that the path within the mountains is treacherous. You don't know where it is that you're heading to yet.
Okay. I'm gonna come back and walk over to Lane and let him know that my Raven still has not found anything, but the mountain is definitely going to be a treacherous climb for us.
Yes, I expected so. The biggest problem with the invasion when the war first started was getting past those mountains. Getting an army through them was impossible. It should be easier for us, but still, our lives will surely be at stake many moments throughout that.
Remind me again why exactly we're at war with the Redanians again?
Well, after the king, Hanford, was assassinated a few years ago, along with his son, the couple of the cities were disagreeing as to who should be the king interim while the young Miraville became of age. The Redanians somehow had it in their mind that the Baroness of Redane, Malaga, was the logical ruler, since she's supposed some sort of distant cousin to the king. But in reality, she holds no real claim to the throne. But they were pretty upset when the Lord Regent was assigned, And, well, suppose that's just one of the many reasons.
Hmm. And remind me again what you did before you were assigned on this task with us.
I was a legionnaire. I hunted, much like you did. But this is my first command.
And you have no magical power whatsoever.
I do not. But I am trained, much like the other legionnaires, in taking down, well, magical. I know.
I just think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I know you are not entirely happy with me being at your command, and I can understand why. But trust me that, well, I know that both you and I, the rest of your squad, have been dealt a rigged hand. I intend to come back and live my life the way I did before all this. I have every intention seeing those people that I left behind, much like I'm sure that you have someone to come back to.
Well, unfortunately, like you, I do not have anybody to go back to. I joined the program to run away from my past, not go back to it. So, let's just get our job done and carry on with our lives. How about that?
I agree.
We should get back to the carriage and get moving again. I believe the path from Oliver's Port will be better for us to get up the mountain.
Yes, I suppose it's better to encroach the mountains from the beaten path. He sits down the map that he was looking at, and you both start heading back to the cart. By the time that you guys get back, you'll notice Mavros and Fritz finishing up with their little episode of unwellness. Everybody has the rations. Is there anything else you guys would like to do here?
I guess not.
Pat out some of the boxes. Managed to get us a little bit of food. Not many days, but some.
Is that 2 each for us?
2 each, yes.
Just about, yeah.
As long as it's enough to get us and the prisoners back to Oliver's Port where we can supply up a little bit more. I don't see a problem with it.
Survival check, dog?
No. Usually you will be able to travel 2 hexes per day, but with the 20, you'll be able to travel a third before nightfall. So if you keep on going and you're heading towards Oliver's Port, then
Yep.
you move forward a little bit. As night descends, you are currently in the path further south. So you guys make camp here.
Alrighty. Miss.
Say that for making camp, I'll require another survival check to see how well you find yourselves in this camp. Same person who led the journey, so go ahead, Elric, make one more survival check to ascertain how good the camp is. It's good enough to rest. Not the most comfortable. There are no walls to keep you covering from the cold wind that is starting to blow in from the east. Regardless, you're able to set up some tents, some bedrolls, quick fire by the road. fairly desolate, manage to sleep soundly and wake up the next day. And you continue your journey onward. So, who will lead the hopefully second and last day to Oliver's Port?
I'm
Very
gonna
well.
go take a look at the soldiers again.
All right. The soldier that has been having trouble walking seems to be able to get himself moving again. He has to use a branch that you found on the side of the road to move around, but at least he's slightly more independent. But definitely wouldn't be able to fight. The other one is in the same condition. Burns are not so easily taken care of. And while you have been trying to treat them, a lot of these wounds are so severe that it would need probably about 2 to 4 days, of constant care for them to be in a decent condition.
All right. Well, that's all I needed. Okay.
So make sure that you check off one ration after this long rest that you've taken, theoretically. And Kaldor leads the next journey onward, traveling until midday, a little bit further down the road. And inching just a little bit closer to Oliver's Port by the time night falls yet again. You are slightly closer. You're close enough to be able to see Oliver's Port down the river from here. You see the lights of the fires and the torches going around, but it's still just a few miles away. You could push forward, but if you roll anything beneath a 13 to go forward, would give you all a point of exhaustion. So, do you guys want to push in, or do you want to camp here for the day? Okay. You manage to successfully push forward without exhausting yourselves. You arrive a few hours into night at Oliver's Port. Oliver's Port is a trading hub, but trading has been closed for the most part. It seems like now that it's in Redanian control, a lot of these ships are being detained, inspected, and a lot of the goods are being reappropriated and taken for the army. But it is still a lively place, a much more lively place than you've been in a very long time. Even when you're in Whitford, people in Whitford are very buttoned up. Here at Oliver's Port, it's all about, the sea life, and it's about the sailing and traveling and whatnot. Now, a lot of these travelers are a little bit deterred by Oliver's Port now that it's a military controlled, but there's still a few. So you do still get a sense of livelihood and happiness here. What do you guys want to do here?
Oh, so what time is it? Probably around nighttime?
Like 9 p.m., maybe 10.
Okay. So are we just like at the outskirts right now?
Correct, yes. There are no walls to Oliver's Port. In fact, Oliver's Port is... there's a river that goes inland, and Oliver's Port is not within the inland. It's... the river has this little island. I didn't put the... It's not very well made to represent, but this little islet that's between the two rivers that lead inland, that's Oliver's Port. It's supposed to be a little bit further towards the inside, but... So you're standing basically on what is the bridges that lead into Oliver's Port.
So do you guys want to camp on the outskirts, or...
We should probably go into town and stay at an inn.
with the soldier prisoners? that
Well,
have?
we are going to change their clothing so they just look like hurt civilians.
Do we have clothing for them?
We
Guess one of them could wear my coat, but don't know about the other one.
I kind of scrunge around to see if there's any like Red Army armor left over in the carriage.
Well, you do still have the Red Army uniform that they were wearing when they got captured. I think you want to be donning that.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, not,
So there's Black Army, and then there's
yeah.
Redanian.
Right. Every time you say Red Army, it confuses.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I
It's
messed up too.
yeah, there's Black Army uniforms that the prisoners used to have. There's no
Mhm.
Redanian Commoner Army. And there's no more armor.
Could I make them look? No, they have like insignias on everything. So even if I mess with their clothing, they're still gonna look like Black Army men, right?
Indeed, yeah.
Well, that's great, Elric. So if you want to go get them clothing, you could be my guest. Honestly, I can go get them clothing.
I think you would be better at it since you could negotiating.
I kind of smile a little bit. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna head off then. Just get me a little bit closer, and I'll go get clothing for them, and I'll bring it back into the carriage. Yeah.
Actually, why don't you take Lane with you?
Lane. You want me to take Lane?
Yeah, there should be 2 of you going.
Lane. I could do this by myself, really.
Well, I honestly insist that Lane goes with you.
Exactly. You send the captain with you, or with him?
Yeah, no, Fritz has a great point. You wouldn't want to send the captain with me, so...
I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I just...
I think Fritz, that's a good point. So,
Well, honestly,
I'll go.
Fritz looks like he needs the rest, and I'm not really good at negotiating. Lane has a more friendlier face than I do, so why don't you and Lane go find clothing for our friends here?
I'm gonna kind of grimace a little bit.
Gentlemen, I
And
hate to say
kinda
this. I'll look outside
annoyed.
the moon. It is quite late. Unless you're robbing the place, I don't think we're getting any clothes tonight.
Well, with that attitude, you're not. So, I'm gonna kind of start embarking out of the carriage. Lane, if you wish to come, you should catch up. And I'm gonna head out.
This whole conversation, Lane has kind of been not really scowling, but definitely staring at Elric. He grumbles a little bit, steps out of the cart, and he follows Mavros.
Yeah, there's kind of missing a chain of command here, but he's probably also not gonna argue with wizard dudes.
I'm gonna pat Lane on his back when he catches up to me.
Yeah, he continues forward. He doesn't really bring it up, but he continues forward walking. He will say, though, Fritz is probably right. This types of cities do sometimes tend to stay awake past most towns, but definitely not for selling clothes.
Well, I don't plan on going to a clothing store.
Oh,
There's certainly other ways to get the clothes.
I probably shouldn't have been involved in this then.
No, you should not. But, they're here now, so...
Very well. You start heading inside and back into Oliversport, a lively little town. As you start going inside and into the streets, you'll notice that there is a pretty heavy military presence here, but it does seem like a lot of these soldiers are wearing a slightly different uniform than you guys are. These guys are not wearing heavy chainmail armor. They're still wearing a very traditional kind of like iron-y type of armor, but this one seems to be covered a lot more in leather. It seems to be a lot more lighter. Kind of get the impression that these are not from foot soldiers. These are for the navy of the Redanians.
I want... Oh, go on.
Oh, go ahead.
I am just aiming for the bar district. Whoever will be drunk, I'm beelining towards them.
The bars in these types of cities do tend to be closer towards the docks, so that many of the sailors can take a quick drink after arriving. So you head there, and immediately you notice that it's definitely the most populated area. It's lit up as if it was daytime, with so many torches and so many people walking around, drinking and dancing and singing. A combination of both sailors and militaries and civilians, all living it up in this one street overlooking the ocean.
So it's like one main busy road, and it's all lit up, it's all lively.
Yes, indeed.
I'm going to kind of almost follow the drunks and follow them to where they kind of saunter off and then go off in an alley, pass out from their parties and everything like that. If there's any kind of in this city. I'm just looking for that kind of clientele that are,
Okay.
you know, just kind of
Yeah.
off in an alleyway.
Make a perception check. Okay, well, you do easily enough find drunk people that tend to wander off into the alleys too. Some of these people do seem to be just drinking and walking around the streets. Some people are passing out. You notice some people that might be doing some slightly more unsavory things. But who do you follow here?
What do you mean by unsavory things? Like drugs?
There's you kind of catch a glimpse of some substances being passed around, but that's not what I'm referring to. Some of the sailors do seem to be accosting some of the civilians in several ways, both in aggression and, you know, the inevitable.
I see. I see. Um, Layton, you see any, you know, like homeless people, drunk, passed out people, about to be drunk, passed out people?
A lot of drunk people, but about to be passed out. The Jordanians are infamous for being able to hold the drinks a little too well.
Oh, that might have backfired my plan just a tad bit. Is there any alleyways gone?
Kind of points to one alley, and in it you'll notice that there are some. They are sailors, but they're hanging out with others, civilians that look kind of shady. And you, with your perception check, you'll be able to see very clearly that they're passing each other's some needles.
I'm gonna be honest, Lane. This is kind of a dead end. I was kind of hoping for some drunk guy that I could just give money for their clothes, but might have went a little bit too deep into Oliver's part. Lane, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, I agree, but now we're here. Can't really waste our time. Those gentlemen there seem to be, well, if they are doing what I think they're doing, some of them are about to be out of commission for the next few hours. You could certainly take bolts off their backs if that's what you were looking to do.
That's entirely right. I like that, Lane. I like how you think. I just kind of motion him and then start talking to him with a message that we should just tail them and then see where they shoot up and then move on from there.
Okay. You follow them for a little bit. They don't go far from the bar district. They only go a couple blocks down and into an alley where they seems to be already some haystacks where a couple of other civilians that are already tripping out are kind of dazed off, looking to the sky. The Redanian sailors, from what you saw, it kind of seemed like the Redanian sailors might have been the ones buying, but in this case, it seems like they were actually the ones supplying. They hand over the needles to a couple of civilians. The civilians thank them, give them back a couple little pouch of gold. And the Redanians start walking away. Why don't you throw me a stealth check? Or unless you don't mind being seen.
Let's throw a stealth.
Okay. They do see you, but you manage to make yourself kind of inconspicuous. Like, you're just another guy on the street. They don't really pay attention to you.
Okay.
These civilians start sitting down. They start opening their little pack with a syringe, much like Fritz's syringe, but this one with the unmistakable milky / reddish liquid inside. Liquid that you were intimately familiar with at this point. What do you want to do?
So are they in an alleyway about to shoot up?
Yes, and they're not alone. Like I said, there's several other people that are already very intoxicated, but you know, their minds are elsewhere. This seems to be a den, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah, this won't be a problem. Lane, so I'm just gonna wait for them to shoot up, and then we go in there, and we just take the clothes right off their back.
I would rather not be involved, but I will, you know, make sure that no one interrupts you.
You did sign up for this, so yeah, just stand over here then. I'll give it a few minutes, wait for them to shoot up, and then I'm going in there.
Okay. Wait a little bit. You see them inject. See their eyes roll into the back of their heads. Their arms and legs shake a little bit with ecstasies. And they're out.
Go right over to them. I walk on over.
Yeah. You steal
And
them.
I just steal them. Start just talking to them and stealing it. They're obviously not all there, but I'm just saying shit.
How about you make me a wisdom saving throw? Fairly low, but it doesn't stop you. You start pulling off the clothes off their back as you start to make this almost makeshift conversation with them in which they're hardly replying with coherent words, if only syllables. And at certain
Uh,
glances, as you start pulling off their clothes off of them, you can't help but think back to that sight of your loved ones being killed by this poison, being infected in their minds, their eyes rolling back, their consciousness barely there, their essence being sucked out by this insidious drug. It feels really wrong for you to be doing this, but still, it doesn't stop you. You manage to pull the clothes off their bodies. You know, have civilian clothing of the area.
I am since I that was pretty low. I'm actually gonna go back as after I take it off. I'm just going to stare down at them for a little bit, and then I'm going to crouch down and cast this on both of the people that I you know
Hmm.
did that for. I know it's not going to cure their high, but I'm sure they're not in the best condition, and I'll just kind of stare a little bit longer before leaving once again.
Fair enough. You do this. You do notice that there's a very little bit of an effect. They maybe have been covered in some injuries of some type. Notice that some of these people might, yeah, you're right, not living in the best conditions before this. It helps, and their bliss is certainly uninterrupted. You return back to Lane, who looks back at you. Says, "We're good."
Yes, you can return with the clothing now.
You're saying,
I have a few things to do, but I'm sure I can find you at the end. So,
Mavros, some pains can't be drowned with anything but time.
I'm going to kind of stare off a little bit. And then I'm just going to look back down and then start walking back to the carriage.
Lane also starts walking away. In the meantime, while you guys are all outside of town with the carriage, anything that you guys would like to do in particular?
Not I.
Nothing.
Well, for about 20 to 25 minutes, you wait, and at the end of that, you see Lane return. He has the clothing. He hands them over to the prisoners, who then quickly start getting dressed. He assists them a little bit. He says, "All right, let's go find an inn somewhere to lay down under a roof."
Where's Mavros?
I did come with, by the way.
Oh, you did? You didn't? I thought you went off by yourself. Okay.
No, I did come with, but I'm just kind of silent. I'm following to the end.
All right, yeah. Let's head to an inn. We'll buy our way in, rest for a little bit, and then start heading up the mountain in the morning.
The night goes somewhat uneventfully as you find a decent enough inn that is a little bit far apart and a little bit desolate, so as to not attract too much attention. It's cheap too, so you only pay 5 silver each for the night. Comes with a breakfast, and it comes with a little bit of heat and whatnot. So you don't spend any rations this night.
Do they have, is there any seafood places nearby?
Also, the inn itself doesn't serve seafood, but you might be able to find some of it here.
Yeah, I would go there.
You go over towards the dock where a lot of the fishermen that are already back with this morning's catch are. What do you look for?
I just look for a bar, some bar food, just a beer, mead, and food at the night. Probably spend a few gold, if it's even a gold.
Interesting. Are you going alone?
I just kind of saunter off. If anybody sees me, I guess they'll say something.
Where did you say you were going?
Just back to the area that we were. Where I was with Lane, but I'm just going to a bar, somewhat for seafood and a thing of mead.
You know what? Fritz will go. Why not?
I'm also gonna go with them.
Well, if
I'll go
three
too.
people fall, yeah, there we go.
Well,
Yeah, everybody.
the whole party decides to go get breakfast at a classic Oliver Sport restaurant here at the wharf. And as you're walking through these streets, you notice that the mornings are a lot more quiet than the nights here. Most of the people that are here are working hard, simply doing their business and transporting, getting off ships and boats and carrying the cargo and whatnot. The biggest ruckus happening in this little town seems to be this one priest. Seems to be shouting at every single person that's passing by, particularly the sailors and the Redanians. So as he manages to see you, he'll start yelling at you kind of from a distance, saying, "The gods will return! The gods will return! Because of all of your actions, your deeds of war and violence, the gods will return. You've sown chaos into the world, and now they'll return to punish all of you, the righteous. The righteous and the orderly will remain on top." He keeps basically lecturing you over and over again as you start passing by, and unless you want to retort anything, he'll continue yelling into the crowds that are passing by. You'll eventually reach the restaurant, or this little seafood bar, and you'll eat some, classic food, a little bit of a octopus and fish. I don't really know enough about seafood to tell you what a detailed menu will look like, but you know what it is. So you eat, and you eat nicely. Hot meal that you haven't had in many weeks. Each of you pay 2 silver.
This might be. I'm just assuming this. So 10 silver equals 1 gold, right?
Correct.
Okay, wonderful.
I've never had tuna before, but this stuff's pretty good.
Yes, yeah, it's quite good. I used to have seafood all the time back where I came from.
Where is that anyway?
You probably wouldn't know it. It's called the Luxian Bay.
Can I roll to see if I've ever heard of it?
Sure, make a history check.
Okay.
If you had rich blood, you would probably know about it.
I definitely am not, but I'm knowledgeable. I'm not worldly, but I've read some books or something.
Election Bay is actually not that far from where you're from, and particularly around the people you used to basically serve in Prior Step. You might have heard of where the rich and the noble and the high clergy go to vacation. Place a little bit northwest of where you resided. Election Bay, way over here.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that place. We had a cardinal come by back at the step one time.
Oh. Yeah, that.
I think he was from around there. Maybe he just traveled there. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a nice place. It's a nice place.
He'd said something about like that. Yeah.
As everybody finishes up their meal and pays up, Lane seems to be already a little bit preoccupied. You see that he pays for the meals of the 2 quote-unquote prisoners. and he keeps on helping them. Notice that a lot of the people that are around town look at these two quote-unquote prisoners, and they kind of take pity on them, and they assume them to be injured Redanians. Is there anything else you guys would like to do in Oliver's Port?
Are we all together right now still, I'd
Yes.
assume? Now would be a good time to get more rations if you guys wanted to. We're at the biggest port city that we'll probably be at until we go back into the mountains. Is it colder where I'm at right now, or is it still kind of warm? Have I noticed a temperature change?
It's slightly warmer than you were in Kefrid, but it's still it's a cold. It's winter. It's not snowing, but it's definitely colder. A lot less sun right now.
So I would know that going to the mountains is definitely gonna be a lot colder.
Oh yes, you understand that it's winter and it's bad up there.
Yeah, so I'm going to look for some snow gear, That's what I'm going to do, guys. So,
I'll get some food. I'll maybe figure out some directions on how to get up that mountain. If there even is a way. Probably go incognito.
I'm gonna look for weapon supply store or something so we can get more, anything that can help us take on what we're about to face.
big guy.
I'll go with
With who?
you.
Oh, big guy, you coming with me?
Yes.
All right. Come on. I kind of smile.
I'm
a
gonna
little
go
bit.
look for like a big robe.
Okay, fair enough. Let's do Elric first. Fritz, are you staying put, or are you doing your own?
What is that? I was gonna take off the armor, go buy some more rations, and ask somebody about the mountains.
Okay, fair enough. Then we'll do that second.
Sure.
Elric, you look for a type of weapon store, something like that.
Yes, sir.
You kind of have to go a little bit further away from the docks to find something like this, but you eventually find a couple of stores that are basically just extensions of a blacksmith that is working there. You come upon the closest one you find, the one that looks the best, and there seems to be this this gentleman who is working currently on a sword. He sees you approach, still wearing your armor, I assume.
Yes.
He looks and he says, "Oh no, I'm done giving away free stuff to the army. I understand what you're doing, and I understand it's important to you, to me, the business. You want something, you pay for it. You got it?"
I understand. I'm not here for anything free. I was hoping to see if you guys had any sort of explosives or anything of the sort.
Oh, well, not here, definitely, but there's a pyrotechnic 2 blocks down. He is a bit of an eccentric, but he might have something like what you need. He doesn't really sell to just anyone, though.
Well, I'm sure I can convince him otherwise.
Alright, I'll kind of point to you in a direction down the street. If you go there, you'll find eventually there's this little, well, not really little, it's a kind of like a warehouse that has a lot of scorch marks all around it. Doesn't really have a sign that says that it's a business. It's just kind of like a warehouse, but it's what the blacksmith described to you.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go in and look for the man that he sent me here to.
Well, you kind of open the gate to this warehouse, and inside the smell of burnt powder starts permeating immediately. It's kind of dark and a little bit smoky. You start to hear that there's sounds coming in from the deep part of the warehouse. Make your way in, and eventually, working on some type of contraption, you see this one man. Seems to be putting together something. He looks at you and he says, Oh, whoa, be careful, be careful. All this stuff very dangerous. Now, can I help you with something, soldier?
I'm sure it is dangerous, sir. Yes, I'm here to look for some explosives, if I may.
If there's anything I have here are some explosives. But what would you be using them for? Are you putting on the show for the queen?
No, it's to use against others.
Well, I would never use my explosive for something so nefarious. Never!
You're never, not even for the right price?
Depends on what the right price is.
Well, what seems like a price to you that would be fair, my friend?
Well, it depends on what you're looking for, I suppose. If you really want to put on a show, it might be expensive. But if you just want to send a message, I could get you some fairly economic stuff.
Let me see both of them.
He leads you down another part of the warehouse. And first he'll pull out this tiny little crate. Not really tiny, it's about the size of like a small chest, let's call it. He opens it, and inside you see several long sticks of what you might know in our world is TNT. This guy calls it boomsticks. He says, one of these will blast a hole in pretty much anything that you throw it close to, but it's a fairly small radius, contained, and a little bit unstable.
What if I'm looking for something that's a little less contained and packs a bigger boom?
Well, there's a couple of things that I might be able to give. He looks around the warehouse a little bit. First, he pulls out. He doesn't really pull out. He unveils this large sphere that he has like almost in the middle of the room. Takes off this like the sheet that it has over it. This thing is about the size of a small car. And he says, "Now this one will open a fucking hole in a mountain, size of a fucking building, if not more than that. You're probably gonna need some help carrying it though."
And how much does this thing run for?
Well, the materials only cost me about 300 gold pieces. But, you know, craftsmanship and all, I'd probably leave it at 600.
God. Elric's gonna examine the thing and, just walk around it, have a look at it. He's gonna turn to him and ask him, what do you think about the war that's going on?
Well, I can tell you one thing, it's very good for business.
I'm sure it is, but surely you have to think something else outside of just your business.
The Redanians are interesting people. They really were willing to pay any price as long as it helps with whatever it is that they're working on. A few years ago, it used to be my pyrotechnics. Now, not so much, but I do believe that they're just rallying around this one idea. Well, is it really worth it? At the end of the day, it's just a massacre for, I think, pride. Something like that.
Definitely a smart individual you are. What do you think about the army up in Whitford?
Pompous. And, they don't know the struggles of what it's like down here south, but I used to be pretty happy when they were buying from me too.
Would you put an end to the war if you could?
Nah.
Well, I'm definitely interested in this said device here. I'll be back with some of my friends to come pick it up with your money.
Well, you're welcome anytime then.
Of course, I'm gonna reach my hand out and shake it, and
As soon as you exchange handshakes, your hand gets covered in soot and black powder.
he just wipes it off on his armor and walks out.
Meanwhile, back with Fritz. Fritz, you are looking for what, sorry?
So I was gonna go buy some rations and then inquire with somebody that might know about traveling up to the mountain.
Alright, finding rations would be easy enough. Without having to necessarily RP the whole thing. How much are you looking to buy?
Probably a week's worth for all of us is an insane amount, honestly.
Might be.
Maybe half of that's still a lot, but still half of that, maybe 4 days worth.
Okay. 4 days worth. Food is slightly less scarce here, so it's a little cheaper than it was in Kefrid. I'll say that for 4 days for everyone would be 9 gold pieces.
Okay, I'll pay it. Down to 2 gold.
Then I'm gonna have to ask you to make an investigation check.
Sure. You know, I might actually. I'll ask for something different here. Can I say I ask around, maybe in a tavern or some, meeting place? Can I roll a persuasion instead?
Sure.
Cool. That one's a much better. It's a much better roll.
Well, you start talking to some people about what it's like going to the mountains, and a lot of them seem to not know. Eventually, you find one couple of people that seem to be a couple, like an actual couple. They look back at you, asking about the waste of the mountain, and they say, "No, certainly we can help you. What are you looking for in the mountains?"
I'm hoping to head up there for a little bit. Me and some of my friends are going up there. There's monsters that need hunted.
Hey, interesting. Going now in the height of the blizzard season?
Well, see, this is why I was asking. I'm not exactly sure. Never been to a mountain.
Well, it's treacherous, and well, particularly now. Also, he looks back to his partner and says, "Well, they closed it off. The Redanians and whatnot. They did. It's all been off limits for a few months now. Yes. Who would recommend? I mean, I understand that you are probably yourself under strict orders of some kind, but going up the mountains here is, well, it's too dangerous. Whatever monster you might be hunting, I'm sure it will hibernate for the next few months."
Well, that's an interesting point. I may need to go discuss with my employers. You said there is a path. The soldier boys are just blocking it off, though.
Yes. Not really sure what it is that they're going up there, but yes, there's a path. Sure, if you look close enough on the mountains, on the road a little bit south, you notice the many outposts along the way.
All right. Well, I may have to go ask my employer for double. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Likewise.
Actually, could I have asked for specifics on where that was, like some rough directions?
Sure. They'll say, if you kind of show you on the map, that there is a road that kind of seems to be leading in the same direction that you were kind of planning.
Mm-hmm.
Just straight east from a little bit south of Oliversport.
Okay,
And they mentioned that there's basically outposts at like every mile marker basically along the road.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll go back to wherever my team convenes, and once they're there, I'll give them this new info.
Then back with Mavros and Kaldor, you guys were doing what?
I believe we were like clothes shopping.
Yeah, I'm looking for winter gear.
Right. Then not so far away from where Elric might have been at the beginning of his search, you go around and you'll notice that winter gear is in fashion at the moment. Lots of people trying to buy their serapes and their cloaks, whatever. You might find some ponchos and whatnot for all of this for kind of a steep price, but 2 gold pieces for, let's say, like the coats and the ponchos
For just one person?
for just one person.
Is there a shopkeep nearby?
Yeah, there is a kind of like an outlet situation. You're looking at the clothing and their displays, and this guy's tending to many of the people that are buying. He looks at you and he says, okay, what are you taking?
I'm looking for, winter gear for, this big guy, me, about, I start counting on my fingers, 1, 2, 3, then me, so about 4 me-sized clothing gear, and then 1, I point over to Kaldor, him-sized,
Okay. But we can give you some stuff, surely. Yes. He takes you to a place where you can find some very heavily padded by some type of fur clothing. And yeah, like I said, it might run you about 2 gold pieces per item.
So is the price stated like on the clothing?
No, he's just telling you that that's what it's gonna be.
So 1 gold each?
No, sir, no, 2 gold
Mm.
each.
No, 1 gold. We are fighting the war. You can take this as simply,
Sounds like the army might need to take all these.
that could be possible as well.
Make an intimidation check. Kaldor.
My big guy does have it. He does have a point.
1 gold each, but I'm losing money on this for the queen.
For the queen. Yes, I reach out my hand to shake his hand.
He extends his hand to you, might hand him the gold, and he gives you the clothing.
Okay. So that's 5 gold?
That is 5 gold.
Wait, do I need 5?
I paid.
No.
We can figure out the money situation when we get with everybody, Kaldor. I'm gonna pat Kaldor on the back, and then so you got any place you wanna go? Or we got you your big cloak.
No.
Okay. We start heading back to the carriage, I assume then.
Everybody shortly thereafter reconvenes with everything that you got. I think Manpai's not quite back yet, but as you guys return back, Lane looks at all of you, simply saying, "Oh, we're losing daylight. I think it's time to go."
Fritz will nod. I'd agree, yeah.
I got you guys this. I'm gonna throw some clothing at Fritz and some clothing at Lane. So I put out my hand. 2 gold each.
That's all I got left. I spent 9 of it just buying food. Points to some packages in the carriage.
Right. You get a pass then, Fritz. Right. Well, you heard him. Laying 4 gold.
He sighs and he says, "You wanted a bigger budget, you should have just asked." He pulls out a pouch and he throws you 6 gold.
I kind of smile and like, you know what? Thank you. Yeah. I throw him back a gold.
During this, Elric will return from the pyrotechnics store.
Gentlemen, I have found something that may be of use to us.
Okay.
I may have as well, but you first.
Well, there happens to be a pyrotechnic in the area, and he so happens to have a little device that could put a hole in the size of the mountain, according to him.
A pyro what?
A
These southerner words.
man make boom.
Like an explosion.
So he has magic.
No,
Magic.
it's more man-made. Oh, calm down, Kaldor. It's not magic.
I'll be the
It's-
judge of that.
It's science. Very different. But it's a little expensive and a little big.
Okay, so like 20 gold.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, well, we could probably do 20 gold if we chip in.
Yeah. I actually need you all to, we're gonna head over there with the carriage and we're gonna have a talk with them.
Okay.
I mean, we can, we'll
How
do
much
that
is
after.
it going to
we're all
cost
done.
exactly?
Hey, it's a couple gold.
Okay,
Fritz raises an eyebrow.
I feel. Elric, how much is it?
Listen, you'll find out when we get there. Just let's finish up what we need to do here, and then we'll head over there in the carriage.
I kind of sigh and I look over at Fritz.
Right,
You?
about that. I actually have some information. So, I spoke to some gentlemen. Said they've been up in the mountains. Apparently, it's a blizzard season. Don't know exactly what that means, but they explained it was cold. I mean, the mountains assume are cold, but this is even worse. Actually, there would be blizzards up north. Never mind. You would know that word. It's apparently blizzard season up there. It's good on you to buy the all the clothing, Mavros. But I got directions. We followed the road just up east. Supposedly there's a bunch of outposts, and the Reds blocked it all off. So apparently we got a lot of talking to do.
Well, that will be definitely fun, but once you go through one, you've basically gone through them all. So,
They said there's a lot of checkpoints.
it's the
lot of
same
them.
thing. One checkpoint, you figure it out. Then, next checkpoint, easy. Trust.
All right. Well, said something about this pyro. That's about all I got.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the teeth. I guess he wants a mage or something.
Listen. Let's just go over there.
Alright. No one objects. Then Lane does kind of grumble at this, saying that this might be a waste of time, but he understands that he trusts, and to some degree, that this might be useful. So you start heading in the cart, and eventually you all arrive at this not really run down, but certainly damaged warehouse. Elric, what do you do?
I'm gonna lead everybody in to the building and look for the pyrotechnic again.
Okay. You all start walking through these many crates that smell like sulfur and burnt materials and burnt metals and whatnot. Eventually reaching the back where the man is working, sees you come in and kind of raises his eyebrows at all of you and says, "Wow, I didn't know you were bringing military friends. I thought this was more of a personal purchase. But you're all welcome. We serve the queen as well."
Yeah. Show us the device again, sir, please.
He leads you a little bit to the side and once again uncovers this massive sphere with several spikes. Again, about the size of a small car. He shows you it. He says, if you really want to make them suffer, put this in the middle of a battlefield. Whole place is gonna shake.
Is this gonna fit in our carriage? Can I tell if this is gonna fit or not?
It looks like it might fit if you're willing to forgo someone riding in the back.
So there would be 2 people up front?
There will be 2 people up front and like 5 others walking outside. I'm also not sure that one thing is that the thing having the space to fit. The other thing is the horses being able to draw it is another thing.
That sure is big.
But it could be useful. No.
If we get it there, yeah. But there's a whole deal of I kind of look at the shopkeep. Getting it to the destination, and then it's just you just do something, and then it goes boom. I look at the shopkeep.
Well, there's a little bit of a wind-up time, but it doesn't just go boom. It goes boom,
So in that wind-up time, can this be disabled or no? Like, this is just like once it goes, it goes.
Well, I suppose there's several different ways in which you could start it. Typically, I just use the standard fuse, and he pulls out a fuse. However long you want to make it is up to you, and I suppose if you really wanted to stop it, you could, clap down on a little spark. Not super effective, though.
Okay.
Lane, what do you think about it?
I think this is massive and dangerous, and you'll kind of say would draw a lot of attention.
It
I
would.
Nod my head in agreement.
But if we, disguised it, I think we could.
A chandelier? Like what? Like another carriage? What are you trying to describe?
A pile of destroyed metal pieces.
I
don't think this is getting past inspection.
No, we have a lot of checkpoints.
Listen.
If there was something smaller, maybe you have like a mid-range, fella, or
Mid-range. Oh,
large building.
He goes towards the other box that he had shown Elric. He'll grab like a piece of twine, and then he'll just start bundling up a bunch of dynamite sticks together until it's like something the size of a soccer ball. He'll say, "This'll take down a building, surely."
Well,
I don't think that's going to do what we want it to do.
Okay, well, here's what we can do, and I think this is the only way, is if we have another carriage. If we want to go down this route, which I think is not really needed, yes, we get it there, we use it, but the fact of getting out is also going to be very hard. So
Come here, let's have a huddle, guys. Give us a moment, shopkeep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Listen, I'm gonna whisper to them so you can't hear us. Listen, that thing is not. We don't know how big this place is that we're going to. I'm only going to assume, since they are manufacturing these devices, that it has to be larger than a fucking building, Mavros.
Do understand we have to get it past, like Fritz said, multiple checkpoints. You know, I can bullshit maybe one, but like two on a giant metal contraption when we don't have the same amount of men that we should have, when we don't have the main strong Redanian armor guy that we should have. Yeah, like, you know, you remember the note. We're all they going in there, you know, with less than what we said. I think it's a risk. This could be a lot that we do for nothing. It could be stopped even before we even get there. Also, it's blizzard season, so not only do we have to somehow fit this in our carriage, walk outside in the blizzard, or get another carriage, use that. You know, I'm just gonna start rambling on and on and on.
Say at best, maybe the smaller option. Probably cheaper too.
Mr. Shopkeep, how many of those bundles do you think you could get us?
He'll kind of count with his fingers a little bit. Let's say, I think I can get away with 3 right today.
Well, you know, I assume 3 could take down, 3 large buildings. So, well placed. It'll be fine.
When you say large building, what's the radius on this? Are we talking?
Imagine, kind of like an inn, but one of the big ones, one of the nice ones. Couple floors, maybe. Nice
You
basement.
think it could go through stone and all that too?
Well, out of the stone walls, certainly, yeah.
What about iron, you know?
He kind of squints his eyes and says, yeah, probably through iron too. Unless it's very, very, very thick. But sure.
It's like Black Army men type, steel.
Oh, yeah, then
big steel.
absolutely, yes.
Yes, yeah, I doubt this could do much against the Redanian armor. We build it a little bit better, don't we?
I would be careful not to spittle too much classified information. We wouldn't want to look poorly for the Queen.
Oh, sorry. I kind of scratched the back of my head a little bit.
How much will these bundles run us?
Each of them is, well, each of these sticks I usually sell at 150 each. With the bundles, I would put them 12 each. 12 of the bundle for one bundle.
Oh, 12 gold?
12 gold, one bundle.
Looks over to Lane. What's his reaction to this?
He is
the money specifically.
Yeah, he is
I'm
counting
sure he's
pennies, but not happy.
Okay.
I assume you take cold, hard coins. Not really an IOU type person, huh?
Definitely not. You can rely on that type of stuff. That all those things they tend to crash overnight.
Nope, not this day and age, huh?
Yeah, I have kids and they keep getting written IOUs, but I swear to God, from one day to the other, it's from the moon and into the ground.
Well,
Mavros, come here.
I'm gonna back up.
Yeah,
Just a little
back
bit.
to the huddle.
Back to the huddle.
Back to the huddle.
I don't think we should. Look,
I think we can
he
talk
knows
him
too
down.
much.
Then we kill him and take everything.
Oh, that is so crazy. That is so crazy that you
Fritz
said
just
that.
shakes his head. I don't think we kill the guy.
I think that's absolutely crazy at this point to say
What
that.
if we tie him up?
We kill him?
No, we don't kill him.
We kill him and we
Is
take it.
Lane, is Lane in this huddle?
Yeah, he
Yes,
is.
Elena.
He's thinking, and he'll say, "Well, definitely not for killing him, but he is
We kill
probably
him or the prisoners.
Why do you?
What?
No.
Why you want what?
We make space
I
for the big boom.
I kind of scratch my chin a little bit.
I'm
You
also
know-
for the big boom.
Listen. The big boom is not happening. That is so bad. It's gonna be so hard to even get that up the mountain.
I
Listen,
promise you.
I
What?
have a lot riding on this. A lot, Elric. Okay, you've been a good guy so far, but I'm not having this obsession ruin this. Listen, I'll tell you what. I can
obsession?
go.
It's to get rid of the
I
facility.
can
That's our
go-
mission.
I can go play. Do what I can down at the bars. If you really want me to, I can probably make decent amount. Maybe
Just
depends.
see if you can talk him down real quick.
You.
Listen,
look at-
fellas,
I look at Fritz.
the money's not even the issue. I'm sure we probably have enough money. This fella, if they come knocking at our door or at his door, he's gonna rat on us. All right, we can't have that.
So then we tie him up.
We kill him.
If we tie him up, that's even gonna be worse.
Kill him.
He's an honest man. I mean, honest enough.
To be fair, he is probably selling a lot of the weaponry that is also killing some of our soldiers.
All right,
Oh.
good point.
Kill
He
him.
did say he sells to both sides, so I mean,
We kill him.
Let me talk to him.
let Marvels talk to him, big guy, and we'll figure something out after that.
I kind of go up to him. So, we have really decided. We've been looking over your wares. It is absolutely supreme. I wouldn't say I have an eye for craftsmanship, but certainly what you do is very, very attractive to my eye.
It's an art.
Oh, it's more than art. I would say it's, it's craftsman work. It's, well, I guess art is a good word then. Yes. But, for it, for what we're trying to do, for the queen, all that, I'm sure a man of your caliber probably, well, if I'm going to be honest, as a explosives man, you probably sell to both before this was under military rule, if I'm correct, yes?
To anybody that would buy. For a long time, I used to supply the gunpowder that the weapons of the Black Army used to use. Now I don't even know where they're getting it from.
Probably something. They're probably rounding it up from a newer or whatever, but, we probably won't have as much as you're looking for, but there is a deal definitely to be made here. We would like your 3 bundles, okay, and we will pay 20 gold for it. You're a great man, great craftsmanship, and I will tell my other autonomy men to come to you. I know you don't like probably getting paid in word of mouth, but I can guarantee you there is much more business coming your way if this goes well.
A persuasion check. Regular persuasion.
Can I be behind him?
You will be a very rich man. Very, very rich man.
Need it. You don't need it. He built different.
Fine. But whatever you're using this for, you become, honorary heroes of the Queen. I want the Queen to make me her special pyrotechnic. Understood? Put in a good word.
Are you fine with being okay? So you just want to be a pyrotechnic for something,
For the
some
queen.
higher power for the queen.
We could have you part of the military. As soon
So
as
you
this
just want to
is
be a
done.
part of a military?
No. The Queen, I want to meet her. I want to see her. They say her beauty is like any others.
Oh, yes. If we do, I will be sure to do that. But the queen is, even for me, it's hard. But I sure, after using your craftsmanship, surely I can do that for you. Oh, what's your name? I reach out my hand to shake his hand.
Georgie.
Georgie, wonderful. Georgie, listen, this has been such a wonder. I was wondering if you could throw in a few more extra, and I will personally make sure that you see the queen.
Very well.
Don't you want to see her beauty? Bask in it? Many men would be jealous.
Would very much like it. All right. So you want to knock down the price from? Did you say 20? Is that what
From 36 to 20 for all of it.
20 for all of it, plus some
yeah,
extra.
plus whatever comes in. Yeah.
So if it's like, damn, I got scammed.
Yeah, he'll take it. Yeah, he'll take the 20. Do you guys even have 20?
One more second.
I still
Okay.
have 10 on me.
I got 14. Big guy.
I saw 14.
All right, so how about this? You guys pay 6 and I'll pay 7, yeah? So you give me 6 each, and then I'll give 7. And there we go, you know?
Okay, what does that add up to?
Fuck if I know. Probably 20.
I'm gonna give him 7.
Okay, so 7. 7 from Elric, 6 from Kaldor, and then 7 from me.
Yes.
That does equal 20. Yes. Wonderful. Okay. So I am down to 7 gold. Kaldor, we take 6 from you, and then Elric gives 7.
Yes.
Oh, right. It's 8.
Okay. I go back to him with the gold.
All right. He'll count the coins meticulously, and he'll say, "Fair enough." He grabs the chest with 3 different bundles of dynamite, and he'll give them to you.
I will smile. Thank you. This has been most wonderful, Georgie. I will remember your name. Do not worry. And then I kind of nod my head and then pick up. Well, I point at Kaldor to pick up the chest.
It's not that heavy, but you do have some trouble picking it up.
I thought he was supposed to be all like bronze, no brains, and he can't even lift up a chest.
You know.
I try to switch it to my other shoulder.
You guys want to do anything else, or
That shit's cramped.
it actually explodes on your shoulder?
Yeah, you just actually leveled half the fucking block. Congratulations.
I'm gonna take a few back steps before we leave. Do you think I can get some complimentary, matches?
Oh, you're killing me here, man.
Ah, well, it's my job.
He'll give you a couple of a box of matches.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, we're leaving.
That's all the weird, wasn't he?
A little bit, but I guess we got some explosives. Fritz, we're still good on rations, right? We didn't blow all of that on explosives, did we?
I got us food. 4 days each of us.
Okay, good. So are we all good? Anybody else want to do anything? I look at Lane. Lane, you want to anything?
Get out of here.
Yeah, I suppose that this was fruitful, but I would still like to leave as soon as possible.
All right, well, let's go. For the explosives, let's hide it in the carriage somewhere. I'm sure we have an extra crate we can stuff it into.
Well, it's already in a chest. So I don't.
Oh, I did forget about that. Let's just leave it in the chest. Yes.
Yeah, how about we put some like cloth and stuff on top of it so it doesn't like the cloth hanging out so it doesn't look as suspicious if we get checked when
Sure.
we go past
Don't put some stuff on it. Yeah. Right. Well, to the carriage.
To the carriage.
Okay. You all start heading back to the carriage, and is there anything else you'd like to do at all at Resport?
I don't believe so. Not me, at least.
All right.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
So who? Oh, actually, I'll.
Fritz,
I have the lowest wisdom by far.
do it anyway.
Oh boy. What were you gonna say though, Sophia?
Two matters. Yes. Who wants to be carrying the boomstick bundles in their inventory, and who wants to take the lead of the next bit of travel?
I think for now we're just gonna have them in the back of the carriage. So you still want somebody to have it on their person just for that, or
Trying to see if maybe I can put it just. I can put it in the inventory of the group. Actually, I don't know how this works. Right, that's good enough.
The group token a character sheet?
Yes. Can you guys?
We do
see
not have
it?
access to it.
How about now?
I see it now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. It has our character. Oh, and also an NPC.
And the health bars. That's incredibly
Neat.
helpful. Wow.
Neato.
Holy.
All right. So, who leads the next travel segment?
Farm boy Fritz.
I was going to say Fritz is being peer pressured into leading us astray.
Yeah.
My name is Judas. I lead us on.
Very well. As
By the way,
Mhm.
I will be riding up with whoever's up since we're going to the checkpoint, so I'll be at the front of the carriage as well.
Okay, fair enough. Well, the day that passes quite fast for you guys as you start heading down the road. It's not particularly unpopulated in the road. You see more than a few people, but most of them seem to be heading north. As you,
You know what,
pass.
actually?
Mhm.
Could I ask for advantage since I asked for directions earlier?
Justified. Yes, go ahead.
Cool.
-1.
Oh,
Yep.
come on.
There you go.
You asked for directions, but the people that helped you kind of scared you more than they actually helped.
Foreigners.
You passed through many people, through many travelers, and eventually find yourself still on the road, but you start to lose your bearings as snow begins to fall in the road ahead of you. It starts to become a little slick, a little bit difficult to manage. And as you eventually reach this point on the road, you begin to hear howls. 1 second.
Uh-oh.
God, driving during winter. My worst nightmare. And a vehicle that doesn't have four-wheel drive.
We got horsepower. We don't need four-wheel drive.
Wait.
Really, it can't be that many of whatever.
As you come to a halt in front of this road as it is currently snowing. At this little snow effect.
What does the Redanian armor put our AC up to?
I believe if you hit on the equip button, it should automatically calculate that.
Is there an equip button? Is it the...
I assume it's just chainmail, isn't it?
It is chainmail armor.
Okay, cool. It's the same as my other armor, so I'm not going to touch it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You see before you on the road, a couple of wolves start to block your path. They're a few feet away. But at the moment, they just seem to be growling at you.
That's pretty cool.
They
Whoa.
stare down almost as if demanding that you either stop in your tracks or surrender yourselves.
Hmm.
Oh, hey, Kaldor, you were looking for a fight earlier, weren't you? You went to kill something?
Food.
Look, there's food over there.
Okay, just pre. Yeah, I'm just pre.
You just run in.
Yeah.
Well, they are staring at you, so there's no surprise on this, but you'll pre-rage.
Can I also do something as soon as he runs in, or no?
Sure.
You just see me just run past it.
Actually, before you actually run, because they are watching, there's no surprise here. I'll let you rage, but you can't move yet. I have to roll initiative for that.
Initiative.
Yeah, what do you do? I see.
Because I read.
You cast enlarge.
Okay, I got teleport.
Okay. You get teleport, and you get enlarged, and everybody else, go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, there wasn't that one.
I got a nat 1 for the.
Gonna be. Hang on. Happening. Some trouble with. Right, my bad.
I knew it.
Okay. As the fighting starts, everybody gets ready for the fight. Combat begins. And the first thing you see is that above you, where you couldn't see them before, sorry, not above, this one is below, starts to jump through, using all his movement to climb up here. And almost in an ambush-like situation, goes for a bite. First on biggest piece of meat, which will be Kaldor. You will miss. The bite goes through and into your skin, but your skin's so hard because of your flexing muscles doesn't actually penetrate the skin. And now at the top, another wolf from above also drops down. This one lands right next to Lane. Bites just the same. This one goes into Lane, through his armor.
No, I don't see him either.
Him? You'll see.
No.
Do you not see either of them?
No.
None.
As soon
I
as
was
we like here, I don't see anything
Oh.
though.
I see
there
that
they
one.
are. Oh, okay,
There
now
they
I'm
are.
How bad? I guess there's a button that makes them visible, but one of them doesn't work. Elric, what do you want to do?
I'm going to step up, manifest my echo right next to me,
Where next to you? Here?
like literally to my right. And then I am going to just attack the wolf right next to me to my left.
Okay, fair enough.
Ow.
The first attack does miss.
Well, that is my turn.
Okay. This wolf up ahead runs up and is actually going to bite down on your echo. Seeing as how these creatures have pack tactics, he's going to do it with advantage. I believe destroys your echo.
Yeah, he's definitely gone.
Fritz, what do you want to do?
I want a firebolt, but unfortunately it'd be with a disadvantage, so I just double attack with my short sword with the wolf next to me.
Right. Perfect. Short sword. This guy, they both hit.
Okay. Pass turn.
Lane, after getting mauled a little bit by this guy, takes out his longsword, tries to retaliate, and damage back. Mavros. Jeremy?
Did he die?
I think his...
So for my turn, I'm actually going to cast a fireball.
Oh,
Going to be
here we go.
right
Here we go.
here.
My fault. My fault. My fault. My fault.
No, hold on.
Do you-
I'll handle this real quick.
Oh, sorry.
It's your turn. It's your turn. No.
Wait, who's going? I'm so
You.
sorry.
I was messing around. You
My
think...
mic was muted and I was talking the whole time. My fault.
Oh my god.
Okay. So, anyways, yes, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay. So I'm actually going to see if I can find it. Bardic Inspiration. I'm giving that to Kaldor, actually. And then I'm going to maneuver my way over here, probably like under Kaldor's feet. I'm going to take a slash at this wolf.
Okay. The wolf ducks under your slash.
And then that's it.
You back and fail. Then next up, you begin to hear that another one descends from behind you. This one you can't see, right?
Yeah,
we can do.
you got a little big. I don't know.
The wolf climbs upon Kaldor's back and goes for a bite, again with advantage, now that you're surrounded. 20 hit.
God.
Half.
It is halved, yes.
A lot of damage.
This wolf, we run past his friend. This one goes at Elric.
Damn, that hits.
Kaldor, finally able to go.
I'm gonna go for the one that attacked me. I have a question on this though.
Uh-huh.
On melee weapon attack using strength, right?
Yes.
Is that my strength check?
No, just some weapons use dexterity, but all your weapons, I'm sure, use strength, so you're good.
So I'm gonna use. Great axe. I'm gonna reckless. I'm gonna great axe, and I'm gonna weapon master.
Okay, so you reckless, so that gives you advantage on that first one. Okay. Again, don't roll again. Just hit them the arrows because I don't want to like redo the damages.
Which one? This one?
If you hover over the die that you rolled first, there's an arrow that pops up.
That.
Yes, there you go. Okay, so the first one obviously hits, but with this comes a 17, which still hits. 15, and an additional.
So that's gonna be so. I'm doing the weapon master, right?
Uh-huh.
For the first one, it loses 5.
Right,
so
yeah, and it still hits, yeah.
17 still hits, so it hits. That's a 30. Oh no, that's a 25. My bad, damage on
Yeah.
that one. And what about the 19 one? If I minus 5,
19 minus 5 still hits.
still hits. And that would be 15.
Oh, yeah.
25 and 15 on this guy on.
You kill it.
Okay. And then I'm going to just yeah, I don't think I can do anything else.
Okay.
Oh yeah, oh my bad. Plus a plus 4, but he's already dead.
Yeah, right. Okay, this wolf is going to bite down on Mavros. Just rolling good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that. Okay.
Next up, this one is biting down at Elric.
I'm actually going to use my reaction and cast.
Okay.
It puts me at 21 AC.
Okay, for the next round, you have +5. This one misses. And it's your turn.
Until the start of my next turn. Okay, so I'm good for a minute. Well, that counts as this. Okay,
Oh, actually, oh, never mind. Oh, we'll let it go.
I'm just gonna go ahead and magic missile. What do I need to roll for that again? Since
It's 1d4 plus 1. Basically.
D4.
Okay. Meaning that each of the bolts is going to deal 5 damage. So who do you send the bolts to?
I'm gonna go ahead and do this one right here in front of me.
All 3?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Taking the full.
Then I will action surge and swing at him.
At this one, okay.
Yep.
Definitely hits. You swing at him. Anything else?
No, that should be it for me.
Well, then it returns after you swing and hit him a couple times. He immediately tries to grab back at your arm. For another
You
good hit
fuckers,
damage.
that just means you. You're a piece of work.
Hmm.
There we go.
Right. Fritz, what do you want to do?
Bonus action, I'll mark this guy. Roll the damage for that now.
Okay.
Let's see. So he doesn't take it just yet, but 2 more sword attacks on the one I was hitting previously.
The first one is a miss, but the second one does hit. 4 plus the 11, right? Oh no, is that the other one?
No. The other one's marked. This guy here.
Right. Okay. Only 4 damage for this one.
Yes. Pass turn.
Oh. Lane. It lost his longbow. Okay, he's gonna try to move through this one. Attacks the first guy and misses. I'll just move up a little bit and do for his extra attack. A lot of 12s being rolled right now. And then he moves up. Here. Mavros.
I'm going to hum a little bit and cast Bardic Inspiration on myself. 4, and I'm going to reach over and slap the back of Mavros' head. Oh no, my bad.
Elric. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know why that escaped me. Elric's head, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level,
Jesus.
and then plussing 4, so healing for 25.
Oh,
Whoops. I don't know why that did that.
Frozen was dead.
What was I at before that? Let me see.
At 21.
18 or 19 or something.
17, 18, something around that.
I'll just do 17 and then that 21.
And then add 4 as well. It's add 25.
Alright.
Anything else, Mavros?
No, that's my bonus and action, so and I won't move. So yeah, I'm just staying put.
Oh. Well, these wolves don't like that you just did that, so they attack at you, Mavros, first.
My God.
These guys are fucking hitting hard.
Fear the
Do these
wolves.
guys have advantage?
No, they don't.
The
Oh wait,
first
no,
attack-
they do actually have advantage.
I say
yeah.
you haven't been rolling
Okay,
anything.
yeah, I was gonna say
He didn't
I was
use it, but he
going
does have
to-
advantage.
do something, but if it's not advantage, I'm not gonna even try. Okay, so I get hit by that, definitely. Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's it for him then. Kaldor.
So which I think is this one in range right here?
Yeah, I suppose they are, yeah.
I'm going to reckless. I'm going to Great Master. I'm going to double axe. Double axe.
Okay, they both hit with both of those, so
So 22 and 18.
you kill it.
I kill it, then I
Yeah.
get to do another bonus as a damager. So I get to do one attack on this one right here. I'm already recklessing, so it's gonna be boom.
Okay, well that definitely hits again for a 27. This one is still standing. Anything else?
That's it.
Well, this one is going to bite back at you with double advantage. I assume it's a miss.
It's a miss. I'm on 14.
Bad. Elric, what do you want to do?
Okay. Alec's going to walk up between them and sword burst.
Interesting. Okay. 30 saving throw. Let's see.
No
They
way.
both succeed.
Oh,
So
no
I'm
way.
actually
One of them just gets you back.
I'm
with the
actually
sword.
gonna do this. I'm going to cast Sorrowful Fate. And
Okay.
I'm going to change that into charisma saving throws.
Thing. Okay. Charisma. So that's both misses now.
Holy, this guy's insane.
Then what do they take damage? Yeah, they take psychic damage equal to Bardic Inspiration die. So they take 5 extra damage.
Well, that kills this one. And then I think this one is still alive.
He would take the extra 11 as well.
Well,
from
shit.
From the target thing.
That explodes both of them with the sword burst and the thing, and this is a combination of a bunch of attacks in a beautiful harmony of teamwork. You guys managed to wipe out these wolves in just 3 rounds.
keep forgetting the D4. Fuck.
Let's be honest, it's not like you need it.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Truly.
I'm going to kind of stumble and sit down and rest against a wall as I cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Hey, that teamwork was nasty.
Fritz will actually reach out and touch Mavros.
Feet teleport.
You regain 6 points of HP.
I kind of sit down, like catch my breath, and I nod my head in thanks to Fritz.
He what is it? You see actually, well, there's armor. Never mind, he has armor. You wouldn't be able to see the place where there's now a bite wound on Fritz.
Elric's gonna walk over and say, "Nice job, gentlemen. That was good teamwork."
I mean, we are soldiers after all. Actually, hold on.
You know, it is part of the job. So I guess we just kind of I kind of look over at Kaldor, who's still huge. I wave my hand and it goes back to normal size. Good work as always, fellas.
We should get back to moving. The snow's gonna keep piling up and make travel a lot harder for us.
Well, it is what the blizzard season, from what Fritz said. So yeah, I'd assume that is bad. Yes.
Now, alternatively, though, we do have some meat hanging around us. If
That
anybody knows
is-
how to harvest it.
That is such a good point.
Um,
Kaldor, you feel like you can cut up a few dogs?
Yeah, I start butchering the dogs.
Okay, make a medicine check.
I don't think that was the right person.
I would
here.
also be helping, by the way.
How many? There's 4 of the dogs, right?
There's 4, yeah. You
All
can
right,
afford
I
to.
tried to do our
all of
own.
them together.
Should we-
Okay. 2 of the dogs you're able to harvest the meat off of fairly effectively, yeah.
Well, we got
What
food
about the other
for.
2?
So how much food is this for? Like probably like 4 men for one night.
Yeah, just rations for 1 day for each of you.
Okay.
Fair enough. I assume we probably will have to eat them today.
Yes. But it is pretty cold, but I don't know if it's refrigerate cold.
Yeah, nor freeze. All right, fellas. Well, we got dinner. So
So we keep moving then,
So
or are
we'll
we
get
gonna?
back and we'll head off.
Alright. As the travel then must continue, you advance just a little bit today. You might still be able to advance a little bit more. Who wants to lead this final?
I do.
I do.
Anybody but me.
Mhm. So
Wait, you're going?
afraid
Wait, sorry.
Mavros
Make a
already
choice.
rolled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was.
But
I was just going because we're going to the checkpoint, so I assumed I'd be the one talking.
regardless, yes, both of them are good enough to get you through towards the last light of day, and ahead of you in the valley, you see that there is in fact a large road that is, I wouldn't say covered, but you can see over the distance that leads several torches along several miles that lead up to the mountain. And as soon as you arrive, you see the first checkpoint where a bunch of other soldiers are already not really waiting for you, but expecting people to come through.
Do we
Hey.
rest?
Not yet. What do you do?
I
It's all you,
kind of.
Mavros.
Are they looking at us?
Well, yeah, they're looking at you.
Are they waving us at all?
They're expecting you to approach, but they're not waving you yet.
Okay, well, we just approach.
As you approach, gentleman, kind of like similarly a knight, the reddish iron armor, much more polished and much nicer. This guy's not wearing a helm though. This guy seems to be a little bit less guarded. He sees you approach, and he has this little chart in his hand. Gives you. What do you carry?
Some WMs for T2.
Hmm. Number and models.
4 WMs, for T2 and 2 subjects. Don't have the models. It's a little bit of a rush job. The war is quite rough. They needed more people up there, and it's a little bit scattered.
Okay, make a deception with advantage. Says, agreed. It's starting to get a little bit chaotic up here too. Glad to have you back, brothers. He waves you through.
I nod my head and I move on through.
Right. As you keep on going, snow does start to get a little bit more piled up, a little bit more difficult to just ride through. The animals start to get a little bit tired, slow, and sluggish. But you see that there are still many miles ahead of you. So, as night has already completely taken over, you wish to camp here for the night.
I look back to everybody, kind of shout at the tent. You guys fine making a camp?
I guess we should camp for now and rest.
Night.
See nowhere else we could. Why not?
That's fair. Night. I kind of pull off to the side then.
Okay. Then, whoever is deciding to make camp, I assume you, Mavros, go ahead and make me one more survival check, this time at disadvantage.
That is so terrible. I know this is going to be absolutely god-awful. That's crazy.
That's
Huh.
real good.
Ooh.
You, even despite the harsh conditions of the foot of the mountain here, you're able to find a pretty cozy place, a place that has just a little bit of a ridge overlook that covers you for most of the snowfall. So you're able to get to a fairly dry place that covers the wind, and you're able to build a fire and camp comfortably for the rest of the night. You guys earn your long rest just fine.
So, is there a situation where we don't get a full long rest in these situations?
Yes, if you're not able to find a comfortable place to sleep, or you don't have rations, you only get a short rest.
Damn. We may also end up getting exhaustion levels. If that's
Perhaps.
bad enough.
Oh my god.
How does wolf meat taste?
I have no idea, but I don't imagine it tastes very tasty.
I assume it's pretty lean.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I
Yeah,
don't know what that means.
Seafood. I miss the seafood.
Certainly worse things. He takes a bite of his wolf steak.
Well, that's perhaps true.
Well, as night continues on and you all eat around the campfire, resting up after a long few days of travel, and finally encroaching upon this large mountain that heads just to the east of here, you're able to see the many troops that are moving around and resting, much like yourselves. Feel yourselves that are just at the mouth of the tiger. Just about to enter into the fray of deep under enemy lines. This is where we're going to end our session.
Not bad, not bad.